In a lot of episodes, we talk about things that you can't really touch. Your thoughts, your mindset, your communication style. In this episode, we talk about you and your body. Stay tuned. There are business leaders out there who achieve what they want. And there are all the others. Leading is a discipline, an art, not a talent. You can learn it, you can even master it. Make sure you get what you want. Good morning, good afternoon, good day, whenever you hear this. This is the Live It, Lead It podcast. I'm your host, Olaf Kapinski, and Musab is with me again. Hi, Musab.
Hey, Olaf. How are you?
Very, very good. And today you have a special topic for us.
Yeah. So as we mentioned, a lot of times we're dealing with abstract issues, things that we conceptualize, we need to think about. Today we're dealing with more of a physical and real topic, which is your body, your well-being.
Yeah.
So a lot of our listeners can kind of associate with this in terms of you want to be more fit, but either because you're in the office or you're just not sure how to do it. Today, we're going to give you a few tips on how to do your overall well-being.
Yeah, and this will not be a sports episode like we don't pretend that we are sports coaches and trainers. This is today the episode of the things which you can do outside of gym, so to say.
Yes.
Which is the stuff like which a lot of people not do, so to say, because they may just simply not know it.
Exactly.
It's not rocket science. You just don't have it on your brain. So let's go. Give us something.
Right. So I think a very important aspect that a lot of people neglect is your diet, what you're eating. Mm-hmm. So your foods can either give you energy or take energy away. It can give you
food can take energy away?
Yes, it can, because have you ever heard of the post-lunch carb coma? when you're at work and you have like your big burger or your pasta or your rice, whatever you eat, and after a while you get that little boost of blood sugar from all the food. You have energy for about 5, 10, 15 minutes, and then you just crash and you just want to take a nap. Yeah. So I think a lot of us have had experience with that.
I love it.
Yeah. So the way to counteract that, a lot of people think is coffee, and more coffee, and maybe an energy drink. Yeah. But that's not right either, because in the long run, it's just going to make you more tired.
And then you can't sleep at night.
Exactly.
Tired, and then you need more coffee next morning. Ooh,
exactly. Yeah. So a more balanced diet is required. So what are some of the different foods that you recommend to avoid those kind of issues, Olaf?
Well, mainly no sugar, no carb. So good. I think this is a good starting point.
Yeah.
We have, when you watch in a grocery store, or look around in the grocery store, I would say 2/3 is carb and sugar, what they sell you as nutrition. So what I've seen at these little shops that you have in bigger companies, what they sell is 100% sugar. Mm-hmm. So stay away from it. I mean, this is the first thing. Stay away from it. It's not good for the teeth, and it's not good for anything. So I think this is the first one. And a lot of people, I know. We have these cultures in the companies where when you have when at Christmas you have these Santas made of chocolate on the table.
Yeah.
When somebody has a birthday, he brings a birthday cake and so on. So sugar is a part of society, at least in in Western Europe, or in Europe is part of society. You asked me what would I do? Avoid this.
Yes.
So avoid this. No fries, no burgers for lunch. You can, and when you have a canteen, then they have, no, the other way around. Most of canteens, which are good, the chef knows a little bit what he's doing, and you always have a vegetable food there, and I see it less and less that is really unhealthy. fries with fried sausage and
Yeah.
everything deep fried and everything oily and everything blah blah.
Yeah.
I see a little tendency going to higher quality food. So just leave the carbs away.
Exactly.
Leave the carbs away. No potatoes.
Yeah, great point. Just to go off on a tangent, but to illustrate our point about how foods can affect you. I'm not sure if you heard, Olaf, the other day they made a 19-hour flight. I think one from London and one from New York to down to, I think, New Zealand. It was a different airline, a 19-hour flight. So it's the longest flight that they have. Now, on that flight, they were trying to determine the effect that it would have on people because they're thinking about doing this. It's a commercial airline. Now, they didn't want people to sleep at a certain point because they wanted them to adjust to the time zone in New Zealand or Australia, wherever the flight was going.
That makes sense. 19 hours? Yeah, makes sense.
So they said, okay, we're going to take off at New York. Right now in Sydney, which was, I think, the destination, it's so-and-so time. So we want you to stay awake for another 8, 9, 10 hours, right? And meanwhile, in New York, it's already midnight. I think they left very late, so most people were very, very tired. So they had a chef cook like specialty meals. So the first meal that they had, quote unquote lunch, was for them a very it was a spicy like a spicy salad with like a tomato, a lobster soup or something that keeps you awake, very light on the stomach. It doesn't make you feel very tired, kind of kicks up the system a little bit and wakes you up. Now, when they wanted them to go to sleep, what did they serve them? Noodles, a nice heavy pasta with a heavy sauce and things like that. So just a quick example, for what you can do. These lighter foods that are easy to digest, they won't raise your blood sugar that much. They have a lower glycemic index, which is the glucose level that the food has that's going to have in your blood. So things like burgers and fries, they're very high. They give you a quick spike and then boom, you're down. But things that digest a little bit slower, they give you the energy to maintain it until you get home later on in the evening and have a good rest.
Yeah, so no artificial sugar,
Nope.
no noodles, no bread, no potatoes, and I think then you're quite good on the run.
Right.
So that's a good first shot. So I think what instead? Now we said what not. What then?
So lighter foods. We mentioned things like salads. There are a lot of even rice. There's different types of rice. You don't have to eat the white rice, which has a very high glycemic index, going to raise your blood sugar a lot. There's things like brown rice, whole wheat, things that are a little bit slower to digest, give you a little more energy. Fruits, vegetables, not fruits with a lot of sugar. So you don't want. You can get a sugar rush from a lot of things, but simple fruits and sugars, fruits and vegetables, meat. The protein makes you feel full, but it doesn't give you that tiredness. So
I recommend a handful of nuts.
Yeah,
because when it comes to feeling that you ate enough, the body needs the activity of biting and chewing on something.
Yeah.
And majority of things that we are served, I mean, there's a reason why at McDonald's and all of these shops, there is nothing to bite. You can just you bite it, which means you cut a piece off of the thing, and then you can swallow it immediately, and regardless of what you have.
Right.
So, and the reason is you can eat 12 tons. So have some nuts available. And then just throw some nuts into your mouth so that you have something where you can crack on and chew on. So this is a very, very big one to make you feel more. Okay, now I'm full. Now
even like granola bars. They have like oats and fruits, things like that mixed up.
Yeah.
Even if you have time, if you don't have time, you're in a rush. A granola bar or protein bar is so much better than a bar of chocolate.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And when you start, maybe be honest to yourself and put in at the very first week 2 cheat days.
Yeah.
Do it Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then you can crush stuff in yourself for 2 days. next week only for 1 day, and then the next week only for 1 day, and then the week after only on Saturday. So not when you're in the office. So you get slowly into the rhythm, and eat what you like. Try it out. I mean, some people don't like fruits, but some people don't like fruits. Like I'm not a big fan of fruits, but I like dried fruits. Surprise, surprise. So try out if carrots work for you. So all of these things, give it a shot. And if you want to do this because you don't want to do this to lose weight, never ever. Don't try to lose weight, because this even sounds like torture.
Yeah.
You do this because you want to have this awesome summer body.
Yeah.
So keep the picture in yourself up and big and large. So you don't do this for hitting yourself, and you don't do this because the dudes in the podcast told you. You just do this because you just want to look better. That's all. I mean, as easy as that. This is the most selfish thing ever.
Yeah.
So what else do we have apart from nutrition?
Yeah. So we spoke a little bit about taking. You mentioned, Olaf, that you were in the process of taking stairs instead of an escalator or instead of an elevator. So all of these little things add up. Just like in terms of, if we go back to food quickly, well, you're like, well, that's a small bag of chips. It's a small bar of chocolate. It doesn't mean a lot. All those calories add up.
Yeah.
Also, all those times that you burn the calories add up. So you're not focusing on it. You're not going to the gym. You're not running on purpose, but go for a walk around the building after lunch. It helps you digest. It gives you a little bit more energy, and take the time to be aware of your body. Right? Don't just say, well, okay, I'm not the type of person. I don't want to go to the gym, so there's nothing I can do. Mm-hmm. Right? There's a lot of opportunities. Take the stairs instead of the elevator. Walk around. What would you recommend, Olaf?
Yeah, I think with the walking around in the lunch break, you've opened a very hidden treasure chest, surprisingly, because I see and I read that in Germany becomes more and more a habit that the people eat at their working place.
Yes.
So like sitting at the desk.
Yeah.
Which I think is the biggest drama of them all. I understand where this comes from, because they want to reduce these 8 hours of getting tortured in this fucked up office job into as small time as possible. So I don't need 15 minutes of 20 minutes or 30 minutes of lunch break. I need to get home because I hate everybody here.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we have several episodes out there which deal with that particular issue, but assume it's not that bad and it's just a job which I'm careful. Okay, let's shoot sky high. You like your job, my goodness. So then do yourself good. Take a break, minimum 30 minutes, and do something else. Stand up, go somewhere else, think something else. Watch something else. There's a reason why nearly everybody nowadays wears glasses, because our eyes are designed for checking for the big animals in a kilometer distance, not on wasting them on smartphones which are 30 centimeters away. So give the eyes a chance to relax. Give yourself a chance to relax. In my German podcast, I had a trainer, and she said sitting is the new smoking.
Yeah.
So we are running animals. So I'm not talking about that you got to run a marathon or a half marathon in the lunch break. No, I'm just talking about walking. As you said, walk around the house. Make sure that you stand upright, that you get fresh air, that you get the thoughts away.
Exactly. It's very important because there's a lot of studies that have shown that physical activity, even a 5-minute walk, boosts your brain's capability. Absolutely. So instead of sitting at your desk and then eating, and because you think it makes you more productive, go outside for a walk. Sure, you're spending 5 or 10 or 15 minutes walking, but in the long run, it'll make you that much more efficient. We talk Absolutely. A lot about doing the same amount of work in less amount of time.
Yeah.
Be more efficient. Yeah.
And as we talk about leaders and for leaders and with leaders, here are 2 things for you. The one thing is, make sure that your employees see that you do it. They copy you.
Yeah.
Make sure that they see that you do it. In brackets, inspire them to do the same. This is the one thing. And you cannot really inspire them when you're not there, when they don't never see you outside. But when you go first, it's always the same. When you go first, and it's, I don't know, whenever you make lunch break, and they see you grabbing your coat, and you go out, and you go for a slight walk, and they see you sitting out there in the park on the sun, perfect. This is the first one. The second one, tightly connected to it, make it a break. Make it a break. It is pointless when they see you there and you're phoning, talking business stuff. It is pointless when you're outside and you have your laptop on your knees. It is counterintuitive when they are afraid to go out in the park where you walk because they know you will hijack them to give a quick status review.
Yeah.
This is break. You are not allowed to talk about anything office related, and you're not allowed to answer on everything office related if your boys come up with this.
Good.
Talk about canoeing, about barbecuing, about whatever.
Yeah. I think that's a good segue into the third topic, because we spoke about food. We spoke a little bit about movement. Now let's speak a little bit about mindfulness. So focus on what you're doing at the moment. If you're sitting there and eating, don't be answering emails, work emails. If you're walking around, as you mentioned, Olaf, don't be looking for your next employee to come around the corner so you can ask about a project. Focus on what you're doing. Be mindful. We've also spoken about this in an earlier episode, how important it is to be in the moment and to focus on what you're doing. Because if your mind is scattered in a million different places, you're not going to be able to lead yourself, let alone lead your team, right?
Yeah, and that's the hardest lesson.
Yeah,
because I think this pays on how much I like my job, and usually I don't.
Yeah.
So I don't want to get rid of this useless job and this task and that task and the other task to just get home, because you can see it very often that these people, when they are at home at their preferred activity, whatever that is, then they are there. They play with the kids, the phone is not even there.
Yeah.
When they play with their Lego, then the phone may ring, but I just haven't heard it. So I understand what you say, absolutely, and I understand why a lot of people say, no, let's shove as many crap as possible through the corridor, and then 8 hours I'm out of the house.
Yeah.
But I think you should go back to our non-job episode.
Yeah.
Because this is not
exactly.
Life's too short to suffer. If this is your driver, then you're in the wrong job.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, mindfulness, I love it. I mean, when you have sex, you just shouldn't think about anything else.
It's a good lesson for life in general.
Yeah.
Be in the moment. Mm-hmm. It makes life a lot sweeter. I read a quote, I'm not sure from who, the other day, and they mentioned that always be in the moment, because when you have a good moment, enjoy it because it's not going to last. And if you have a bad moment, be in the moment and know that it's going to pass.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So just appreciate everything, because life is very short. It doesn't matter if you live until you're 100 or you live till you're 30 or 20. Regardless, life is short. So always be mindful of what's happening around you and what's happening with you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah.
Good.
Do we have something else for what you can do in the office?
In the office. So we were speaking about, interestingly enough, lights.
Oh, yeah.
How light can have an effect on you. So a long time ago, what you used to see in all the old movies is the fluorescent long lights, the flickering lights that are in the office.
Yeah.
And it just screams 9 to 5, and I hate my job and I hate my life. You know, the little bzz, noise,
that's the right noise.
And you're saying that bzz, bzz, and you're just working like tick, tick, tick on the computer. They have a lot of lights these days that are meant to mimic natural light, right? That's why a lot of offices in the last few years, last decades or whatever, have transitioned into big open offices with massive windows. so you get as much natural light as possible, because it's just depressing. You could be doing the same job, but you can be doing it in an office with big windows and beautiful sunlight, or you can be doing it in the basement, and it just, the difference is literally night and day.
Yeah, one brings you into frustration and the other into joy. Yeah.
Exactly.
So, and you said it. This is, I feel this tendency since 10ish years, maximum 10 years, maybe only 5. That people understood this. So we have now the LED revolution behind us.
Yeah.
So LEDs are very, very easy to differentiate, and I think now that we have LEDs, people know the light temperature. So because it's written on the LEDs.
Yeah.
So in back in the days when you had the light bulbs, then it was just the light bulb, and then you had the power of the light bulb. That's all. Nobody had a clue on that there's different types of light. You can with LEDs really structure the light, and you can adjust the temperature of light. And I recommend if you have any chance of doing this, and I'm maybe not talking about your office, but I talk about your home or something. We have it over in the flat. When I work, and now it's January time, I have all the lights full speed with 5500K, which is natural light. So, and I can see, I switch it off, and it's just like I'm getting frustrated, and it's like, oh my goodness, I hate everyone. So have an eye on, if you own the shop, if you have any impact on it, make sure that somebody who knows what you're doing is taking care of the lighting in your shop.
Exactly. It is, like you said, important. It's not exactly something you as an employee can go and switch the light bulb in the office. You're gonna go and order 500 different light bulbs, but this is something you can bring up to management. So that's good for lights. Another very underrated topic that a lot of people fail to mention is proper hygiene. You do not want to get sick in the office because you're not washing hands. You're not cleaning your workstation.
Keyboards.
Yeah, keyboards.
Disgusting.
Exactly. I've read somewhere that I think a keyboard has more bacteria on it than a toilet, right?
No surprise.
Yeah, and you're touching it all day, and you're touching your mouth.
When did you wash your keyboard last time?
Exactly. No one does.
Yeah.
No one does.
And most of them look like.
Yeah, exactly. And like, it's not just the keyboards. Like, your keyboard can be clean, but you're touching doorknobs, you're touching door handles, then you're touching your face. So, proper hygiene and sanitation in the office. Make sure your space is clean. Make sure you're washing your hands frequently. I think that those are very important things that people take for granted.
Yeah, and I think you made an important one in the middle. Keep your space clean.
Yes.
Don't make sure that you've cleaned your desk. I'm not talking about an empty desk.
Yeah.
I hear these clean desk and empty desk policies, and I'm like, are you crazy? Do you want me to work or not? I mean, you cannot work on an empty desk, then you don't need a desk. I don't get this idea. But chaos on your desk equals to chaos in your brain. And with chaos in your brain, you're not effective. So make sure that you are in charge of your desk, that you have things sorted, that you know where you put what. And I know nowadays lots of people work even without desks. So the only thing that flies around on my desk is the paper that I just get from the Stone Age companies, like my tax advisor and the banks. So this is then only good for nothing. I mean, I digitalize it, and then I'm left with a bunch of paper and folders. So, but same goes for your desktop on your Windows PC or called a Mac.
Yes.
I mean, now this colleague of yours, and you watch at their desk, and it's just a mess. 10,000 files and folders and everything there. I doubt that this is a structure. I really doubt it. Yeah, they tell you it's all well structured and they find everything there, but I doubt. So I'm completely with you. So keep your workspace clear. Keep your workshop clear. And if you have a commercial training, no, what's the word? Wait a sec. Apprenticeship.
Yeah, apprenticeship. Yeah.
If you have a commercial apprenticeship behind you, then you know what I mean, because every workshop is cleaned by definition. Otherwise, you just get slapped.
Right.
So yeah.
Great. All right.
Maybe one more. This is air and temperature.
Oh yeah, very important.
we need fresh air. So we are grown outside in the forests, jungles, deserts, whatever. So this you know this office smell. You go into the office and it smells, then something's completely wrong, and it's usually from lack of hygiene in the carpets.
Yeah.
So make sure that you have this covered, and I cannot tell you how because I only know bad solutions. So bad solution number 1: everybody can open the window.
Yeah.
Terrible. That leads directly into civil war in the office. Bad solution number 2: the windows are bolted, so you can't open them. We have this central aircon system.
Yeah.
And then there is this regulator button at the wall, and everybody can touch it. So second episode of the civil war in the office. Then you have this, as we are so smart, you have this smart house concept, and it just opens and closes and does everything automatically, which is wrong in all dimensions because people don't feel that they have it under control. And the girls there want it a bit warmer and the boys want it a bit, and so on and so on and so on. I do not have a solution for that. And if somebody out there has a solution or is even sharing a solution, like developing and selling a solution, get to me, please, olaf@liveitleader.com. Then we need to talk because I'm very happy to promote good solutions as I don't see them out there. It's everywhere where I worked, that was like rubbish.
Yeah. Yeah.
So take care of these things: food, movement, air, light, brain.
Yes.
I think these are the ingredients.
It's a very holistic approach.
Absolutely.
And these are things that we haven't even mentioned gyms. We're not talking about going into the gym, these are things that people take for granted that can have an effect on how well you feel at work and at home.
Let's leave it here, and we give you a second episode, and then we talk about a movement itself, what you can do apart from going stairs rather than elevators, and how to maybe put some more motion and movement into your day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. All right.
What's up? Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.